Glad to have their franchise star, Bradley Beal, back in the lineup as they take on the Orlando Magic. And here early on is Kristaps Porzingis, also a star, and nobody's going to stop him when he gets rolling to the hoop. He throws it down. Then Beal takes the pass from Kyle Kuzma and lays that one in. Washington up 12-8. Franz Wagner, watch this wonderful little Euro step here as he goes to the bucket, gets right past Porzingis for the lay-in. Then Kyle Kuzma draining a three-pointer. Nicely done there. Washington up by a dozen. Daniel Gafford blocking Mo Wagner. Absolutely clean block there, maintaining Washington's 10-point advantage. There you see the freeze. Nothing but pumpkin on that one. 38-28 again, Washington in front. Later in the second quarter, DeLon Wright sends a cross-court pass to Kyle Kuzma, who drives baseline. Little fake, hangs, makes the reverse layup. Then Beal passes to DeLon Wright, who then sends it to Rui Hachimura, who just storms down the lane, makes the tough layup, and Washington up by 19. Paolo Banchero to Markelle Fultz, who steps in just before the three-point stripe and knocks down the jumper for two. Then Kyle Kuzma nails a three-pointer on the other end. Kuzma finished the team at the break. In the third quarter, Bradley Beal knocks down a three-pointer. He had 17 points and 8 assists. Washington up by 15. Later third quarter, not as good news for Washington. Kristaps Porzingis turns his ankle going for the block. He would leave the game and not return. There you see another look at it. You're going to want to stick and stay with NBA.com for any updates on his condition as you see Porzingis walking off the court. Picking up the slack with Porzingis out of there, it's Hachimura, who pump fakes, hits the floater, and then continues his hot streak with a pull-up jumper. He had 30 points on 13 of 22 shooting. Washington gets the win by trip. But tonight, Tyrese Maxey thrust into more of a starring role with Joel Embiid and James Harden sitting this one out. Early on, it's Domantas Sabonis getting a hook shot to go. Sacramento already up by 12. All Kings early on. Davion Mitchell tries to throw a lob pass, but ends up just knocking down a three. That'll work. Here it is again. Just a brilliant pass, Davion. Wonderfully done. Later, De'Aaron Fox to Harrison Barnes, and Harrison Barnes knocks down a three-pointer. Then it's De'Aaron Fox working his way inside for the floater. That one goes down. Then Sabonis with a behind-the-back pass to Kevin Huerter for the three, and Sacramento up by 20 at this point. But late in the second quarter, Danuel House knocking down a three off glass just before the break, and that cut the lead down to 10. So down to Tyrese Maxey. Boy, that's a rangy three. Then Maxey takes it up the court and drives in for the tough bucket. He had 32 points and 6 assists in the game. Later, Shake Milton to George Niang for the three, and Philly is up by 9 in this thing. De'Aaron Fox drives and makes a floater as Sacramento tries to come back. Then Fox off the dribble with the just gorgeous move here. Ooh, a little sham god for you. That one goes in. He had 31 points, 9 assists in the game, and Philly's lead down to 2. Kings down 4 late when Fox finds Keegan Murray. He knocks down a three-pointer, and the lead is at 1. Now Kings down 3. Harrison Barnes inbounds the ball with just over 4 seconds to go, gets fouled on a three-point shot. So Harrison Barnes can go to the line and tie the game. The first free throw, in and out. So Barnes knocks down the second free throw. This the third free throw. He has to intentionally miss. Domantas Sabonis gets a tip on it, but it just won't fall down. And Philly, without Embiid, without an 8-game win streak as they get set to take on Pascal Siakam and the Toronto Raptors. And in the first quarter, off a Jaylen Brown turnover, it's Siakam going the other way for a tough lay-in, and Toronto goes up 12-10 at that point. Later in the first quarter, Gary Trent Jr., a step-back jumper, and this is money. And Toronto's up by 9 at this point, 23-14. Responding for the Celtics, Malcolm Brogdon gets it over to Jaylen Brown, and Jaylen Brown knocks down a three, 27-26. Toronto's lead down to 1. Then it's Grant Williams making a driving layup here, and Boston up at this point, 38-34. Pascal Siakam gets it over to OG Anunoby for 3, and that ties the game at 43. Later in the second quarter, it's Grant Williams on the break for the lay-in. He had 25 points. Nice pass on that play from Marcus Smart as well. Boston up 2. But Siakam finishing off the quarter hot. Makes a pull-up jumper. Then off a Celtics turnover, it's Siakam taking it the other way for the easy slam. And this turnover made possible by an injury to Marcus Smart on the play. And watch the replay. He injures his right ankle. He would not return. But you're going to want to stick and stay with NBA.Smart. In the third quarter, unfortunately, more injuries. OG Anunoby injures his right ankle on this play. He'd leave the game and not return. So again, stay locked on to NBA.com for any updates on Anunoby's condition. Now the Raptors in the third quarter on the break, it's Siakam finishing with the layup in traffic. He was terrific. 68-61, Toronto in front. Jaylen Brown responding, drives in for the tough transition layup. Then it's Brogdon making the step back three-pointer, 23 points and 7 rebounds on the game. 78-77, Toronto by 1 now. Jaylen Brown, 3, money, 27 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Boston by 7. But Toronto comes back. Siakam, jumper, goes down. He was a rebound shy of a triple-double. 29 points, 10 assists, 9 rebounds. Then Gary Trent, spot up 3, money, 22 points on the game. We're tied at 103 with just over 2 minutes remaining. Peyton Pritchard hits a 3 for Boston, and the Celtics bench outscored the Raptors bench 62-14. Boston by 3. 3.8 seconds left in the game. Raptors down 2. They inbounds it. Pascal Siakam turns it over, and that cost Toronto the game. You see Nick Nurse. Wolves taking on the young Houston Rockets. And in the first quarter, it's Naz Reid swinging it over to, you guessed it, Anthony Edwards knocking down the 3. It's 15-13 at that point. Later in the first, Alperen Sengun, such a talented young player for Houston. Over to Kenyon Martin Jr. for the alley-oop jam. Houston by 3. Taurean Prince gets the steal and finds Jalen Noel for the dunk on the other end. And it's 26-24. Still second quarter, Eric Gordon drives in for the spin and layup off the glass. And with Houston's offense struggling, Alperen Sengun gets the offensive rebound and layup off the glass. So the offensive board's helping out there as Houston up by 5. Anthony Edwards later in the second quarter. Just buckle up for this one. Edwards just crushing that one right over Sengun. No hope to stop Anthony Edwards as he just mashes that jam coming in from way above. In the third quarter, here's another dunking machine. Jalen Green goes up and stuffs that one home for the Houston Rockets. Here's another look at Jalen getting up. Almost got it blocked from behind, but he just keeps going up. Anthony Edwards now gets the steal, goes coast to coast for the layup, and Minnesota down by 6. Taurean Prince to Anthony Edwards for the drive. And again, Sengun taking a huge one-handed slam from Anthony Edwards. Later, D'Angelo Russell finds Edwards for the three-pointer. He knocks it down. Then Edwards pulls up for another three-pointer. He had 16 points in the third quarter. Minnesota now up by 5. Fourth quarter, Nathan Knight, steal and coast to coast. He's got a dunk. Then it's Anthony Edwards pulling up for a jumper. And Minnesota goes up by 7. Then D'Angelo Russell finds Edwards on the alley-oop, and Edwards brings it home. Watch it one more time. Anthony Edwards, 44.6 rebounds. He led Minnesota. Atlanta Hawks star Trae Young switching jerseys with Atlanta Braves star Ronald Acuna. The Hawks look to extend their win streak against the Hornets, but off a turnover, Terry Rozier showing that the Hornets have other ideas as he knocks down a quick little layup there. Later, Hawks off to a good start. Trae Young makes the high-arching floater. Then DeJounte Murray spots up and hits the open three-pointer, and Atlanta up 22-16 at this point. That's just great ball movement from the Hawks, and the lead keeps growing. Murray a three-pointer again. And then in transition, Clint Capella an alley-oop jam. And then DeAndre Hunter sixth the three-point shot from the wing. And Atlanta storms out to a 16th lead to nearly 20 points. Hunter spots up for another three-point bucket and hits it. He had 25 points in the game. The Hornets trying to close the gap. Miles Plumlee gets the rebound and goes coast to coast. It's Magic Plumlee throwing that thing down. Look at him playing point guard out there. 25 points, a season high, 11 rebounds. Then Terry Rozier, a three-pointer in the corner. Then Terry Rozier drains another three-pointer. And here come the Hornets. They're right back in it. Rozier again from the corner makes the fadeaway three-point shot. And Charlotte's in front, 104-103. Now PJ Washington makes a clutch three-pointer on the wing. He had 23 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Charlotte up by 3. Now 10 seconds to go. Trae Young drives in, misses the floater, but Clint Capella is there for the tip-in. So Atlanta in front, 118-117. Hornets a chance to win it, though. Terry Rozier shoots the step-back three, gets fouled in the process, makes all 3 free throws. All 3. There's another look at the foul called on the play. Rozier had 34 points on the game. So Nate McMillan draws up a play with 0.8 seconds left. His team down by 2. And Trae Young can't inbound the ball in time. He's called for a 5-second violation. And in the end, it's the Hornets coming back. And Phoenix Suns team being honored before the Phoenix and Indiana game. Kevin Johnson in the house, as well as Dan Marley. We start you off, though, with neither of them. None of them. It's Buddy Hield knocking down a 3 for the Indiana Pacers. On the other end, Bismack Biyombo, bucket and the foul. He'd missed the free throw. Then Josh Okogie streaking to the net for the bucket. Phoenix up by 1. TJ McConnell, nice spin move in the paint, kisses it off the glass. We're tied. Suns up by 2, running in transition. Mikal Bridges drains the step back 3. Boy, that is a money shot right there. Later, it's McConnell working with Hield for 3, and 59-57, the Suns up by 2 at the half in a tight game. Steps his way inside for the layup. Nicely done here for Phoenix. Bridges had 22 points on the game. It's 63-60 at this point. This one's staying close in the third. It's Hield knocking down a 3. Indiana up 73-71 at that point. Jock Landale on the business end of this Suns transition. Watch it again off a steal. Ish Wainwright stole it from Buddy Hield, and Saban Lee got it over to Landale. And Phoenix up by 4. They're up by 5. Dwayne Washington inbounds it to Damian Lee for 3. He gets fouled on the shot, and it's 94-85 after the free throw. Josh Okogie flying in to get a tip here. He had a double-double, 24 points and 10 rebounds. Pacers trying to keep it close. Miles Turner to Benedict Mathurin for the reverse layup. He had 23 points on the game. Then late, about 10 seconds to go, Buddy Hield gets the handoff from Turner and knocks down a 3. That cuts the lead down to 2. Buddy Hield had 22 points on the game. Now the Pacers down 3, a chance to tie. Hield quick trigger 3. This one no good, though, and Phoenix hangs on in a thriller. Your final score, 112. After a tough loss at the hands of what was essentially Golden State's bench unit a night ago, tonight taking on the Bucks without Giannis, and early on, well, other Bucks doing well. There's Bobby Portis knocking down a 3. As the shot clock winds down, on the other end, Isaac Okoro swings it to Karis LeVert for the deep three-pointer. Watch this again. LeVert just steps into it and nails the deep shot. Milwaukee's lead at 3. Bobby Portis in the lane for the jam here. He had 23 points, 11 rebounds, but Cleveland up by 2 at this point. Darius Garland drives inside, feeds it to Evan Mobley for the dunk. Boy, can Evan Mobley go up and throw it down. And then, after another look at this wonderful play from Evan Mobley, you get more Evan Mobley. Jetty Osman finds Mobley coming down the paint for the stuff. He had 18 points at the half. Cleveland up by 11. Later, Grayson Allen to Drew Holiday for the layup. That cuts the lead down to 4, 46-42. Ricky Rubio with the outlet pass to Okoro for the tough layup, and Cleveland's lead quarter makes the pull-up jumper, 21 points, 10 assists. Cleveland up by 11, 62-51. Later, third quarter, Drew Holiday drives down the lane for the floater plus the foul. He'd make the free throw. He had 28 points and 10 assists in the game. George Hill to Pat Connaughton. Wide open 3 is money. Milwaukee, at this point, takes a 1-point lead, 87-86, but in the fourth, here comes Evan Mobley again inside for the jam. Ricky Rubio to Mobley in the lane for the turnaround jumper. Darius Garland to Mobley for the jump hook. Boy, do they miss Giannis's defense down there. Mobley driving baseline for the athletic layup. He had 38 points and 9 rebounds. Just a huge night for Evan Mobley.